Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cullen on Film. We got a big show here tonight. We got cast and crew of the short film Just Be. What we usually do, we're going to go around from the top to the bottom here, and if you introduce yourself and what you did on the film. So, Clementine, you want to start?
Sure. Should you call?
Yeah, go ahead. Just say your name and what you did on the film.
Oh, hi, I'm Clementine Spicer, and I was Ellie in the short Just Be.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm Clementine's mom, but
Yeah, it's my mom.
I'm Sarah Cotelis. I'm the director of Just Be.
Gareth?
Gareth Paul Cox, the cinematographer of Just Be.
Hi, I'm Persephone Apostolou, and I play Sylvia.
Hello, I'm Michael Paul. I'm the writer, executive producer, and kidnapper number one in Just Be.
All right, so let's get underway. Usually, we either have a one-on-one or we have a lot of people in cast and crew, so it's a lot of fun to do this. So I've seen your film, and I wanted to, start with you, Michael, and be like, how did you come up with this? You wrote this film. And
Yeah.
how did this come about?
Well, I think it's a combination of a few different ideas I had. I thought of an idea of somebody being kidnapped and, being in a real dire situation. And I thought, what if my daughter or my sister or my mother was kidnapped? How would they get out of it, So I thought, maybe at the end they have some kind of powers that the kidnappers don't know about, But it also has to do with kind of like the hero's journey, like a Joseph Campbell thing, where you're taken out of your everyday life and you're put into a situation where it's kind of a different world, like a demon world, demon situation. So in order to escape it, you have to really find the power within you, That's kind of the name comes from Just Be. You have to be what you are. And if you be what you are in life, then you have the power to do anything, So it's kind of like that. It's kind of metaphorical. It has symbology, but also I wanted to shed light on the horrors of sex trafficking. So it both kind of worked out,
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And then Sarah, how did you come about to direct this?
Well, I just got a random email from Michael. It was
Really?
like, hey, I have this script. I'm looking for a director. And I read it right away. Like, he sent it at like 9 p.m. And then I think I replied at like 9:20. And I was like, hey, I just read it. It's really interesting. Like, I'd love to direct it or talk about it more. And then I think the next day we talked on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 2 other directors like in the running. But then he said, you answered my email the fastest. You read the script the fastest. You had a lot of notes and feedback, and you seemed like the most passionate. So yeah, then I jumped on board the project, and I'm really happy I did.
And then Gareth, how did you come aboard as a cinematographer? Did you guys work together before? Or?
Yeah, so Sarah and I actually worked together on another short film called White Wolves a few years ago. And then ultimately we started working on branded content together when she was at the company Me Too.
Mm-hmm. I noticed there was a lot of really cool shots and the colors and the lights. So it was a really good job. What did you shoot it with? What kind of camera?
That was actually an Alexa Mini.
Okay, wow.
So with some anamorphic prime lenses.
It's amazing what you can do with lenses, right?
Yeah.
Amazing how
just that little extra kiss of something subtle, but allowed it to be still sharp, but have some character.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the casting process? How did you get these two to get into the film? How did that go about?
I'll let Michael talk about that. Yeah.
Well, I've known Persephone for many years.
Okay.
So I know she's a really great actress. But interestingly enough, I've written other things for her to be in, like the next project we'll be doing specifically for her. But this one I didn't. The character of Sylvia was a much older woman, just a different, harder looking and all this. But we did auditions, and Sarah and I just, we didn't find the right person. So I said, I want Persephone to do this. She can do anything. And Sarah was like, okay, but she's really sweet and looking and different, she doesn't quite, but she nailed it. I said, she can nail it, and she did,
Mm-hmm.
And then we just auditioned. I think Clementine sent in a tape first, right?
Yeah,
because she couldn't make it to
She couldn't make it to the first audition.
Yeah, but her tape was great. And
Yeah,
so
tape
then we
was
had her
very
come
good.
in person.
Mhm.
We kind of did like a chemistry read with Crystal, the other
Yeah.
Oh
script.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
We wanted to see like if they looked like they could be sisters and whether they got along. So
Yeah.
Mm.
And we're very happy.
yeah,
Did an amazing job, everybody.
It came out great. And Persephone playing such a like a. Do you like playing the bad girl, the bad person?
That was what was so fun about this was that I've never played like the villain before, so this was a really fun and challenging opportunity for me to kind of enter that dark world and dark persona. And the costume and the wardrobe and the makeup kind of helped me get into that world. But yeah, it was fun, I have to say.
Clementine, how was your experience auditioning and then getting the part and then playing that part?
Well, yeah, I was really happy because it was actually my first short movie, like my first actual short. So that was really exciting. And yeah, the character Ellie, yeah, it was a hard role, but it was challenging. And I really do like dramatic roles. So,
I think also
it was fun for me.
Oh,
And
sorry.
it was fun.
There was like a lag. Sorry.
Yeah, she froze up a little bit there.
Yeah. Also, in the original script, the girls almost had this moment of like being possessed, which we ended up changing it. But I remember now in the audition, we made you.
Yeah,
like,
you made her
act like you're
transform
possessed.
into a demon.
It was so funny. I was like walking towards the camera like a creepy doll. I was like,
Yeah, and we had all these like 14-year-old girls screaming and making these like crazy sounds, and I think the people in the waiting room at the audition were like, "What the hell is going on?"
That's it. My mom after she was like, "You were so loud. We were all like hearing you," and I was like, "Oops."
That's the benefit of having a female director with you, though. Okay, because you don't want a bunch of men in the room and having the girls screaming like that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, also with the directing, with our film festival, Hang On to Your Shorts, we usually have last year and this year we had such powerful short films directed by women. We have 2 sets this year that we're going to play in September, and they're all like women empowerment stuff. So I felt like this would be a good opportunity to talk to you about that as being a woman director and directing a film like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always wanted to be a director, so you know, I feel like when I was in film school, I was the only girl in most of my classes. So that was kind of, I don't know, disheartening. But now I think there is a huge shift, and obviously there's female directors everywhere. So I don't know. I'm hoping like the industry will continue on this path, you know.
Yeah, I have teaching film, TV in a high school. I got a lot of young girls in the class, and a few of them are going to film school after this year, and then all this happened. So I got into film school in New Jersey and New York. So I've only been doing it for a couple of years, and you see more of the girls getting into film school than the guys at this point.
That's amazing. That makes me so happy to hear that.
And their films for high school are ridiculously amazing. So it's
wow.
It's a good, and then when you go to these film festivals and you see all the student films and see what they do, it's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, and they learn from this too, so they'll be watching this as well. So they'll be learning. They've been doing a lot of watching of filmmakers talking on this show and trying to get ideas and learn from that. So thanks for coming on and doing all this.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
So what's been going on with all this happening? So I'm sure everybody was like working, and then all of a sudden, standstill.
Yeah. Well, we're still sort of in like rough pre-production for another film we're all working on. Well, Persephone's going to star in it. Michael's starring in it. He wrote it. Gareth is going to be shooting it. But obviously everything is up in the air, but we want to shoot in September. It's like this thriller short, and we're shooting it mainly as like a proof of concept for a feature film.
Okay,
so that's like our next project. The good thing about this whole quarantine is like we now have so much time to focus on screenwriting and like developing story and all that. Like sure, we can't shoot, but we can do everything getting ready for when things open up, you know?
Yeah. So. I've also noticed that I talked to a lot of actors, and they've been doing a lot of casting online. Is that true for the actresses here? Have you been doing some online readings for some films? Or
I feel like we're not there yet, actually. Yeah.
Theatrically, the industry shut down pretty much, but it will be a new world of self-taping, which has already begun. But now more than ever, when we return back to work, self-taping, doing things remotely, sending it digitally is definitely the way, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The casting directors have been watching tape after tape after tape now, and kind of really choosing the people. So I mean, we got time to do it. So
True, yeah, it's a good time to kind of perfect that.
But like, unfortunate thing about that though is like, I think when I cast, a lot of it is not just talent; it's like their personality.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever I have like a conversation before the audition begins, that actually is as important as the audition to me. You know, so that's unfortunate because with the self tape, you don't get that really. You know.
Yeah, I think with this, after the self tape, once you choose a few, you can bring them in. You have to bring them in and talk to them and do a chemistry read. Otherwise, you can't just do it from that. Like, you're right, because you don't know when they come in the room for the audition.
Yeah.
We met a few. You know, you don't know.
Yeah, there was this one guy, I know Michael remembers this guy. He was auditioning for the part of Aiden, and he was like a hot mess. Like, he came in like super chaotic, and he's like, oh my God, I just got in a fight with my ex-wife, and he brought his kid in, and he's like, sorry, my kid's here, and he just had like so much like chaos. And I think he was like a decent actor, but like
his read wasn't bad, but you wouldn't have known it if he sent just a tape in. Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, we're not working with this guy. He's like too much.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now, I was actually talking to another filmmaker the other night, and he saw your film. He watched it, and then he's a teacher as well. And then he watched it, and he didn't expect that the ending, the little twist, and then he had to go back and watch it again. And as he watched it again, he was like, well, the first time he watched it, he didn't notice like the little innuendos, the little writing of like what's to come. But then he watched it again, and he's like analyzing it and like, oh yeah, he goes, you know, it's a good writer when you find those little hints or those little subtle things as in the beginning what the girls are talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
On it, and that's it. You don't need to explain it as much, and you have the people figure it out. And he noticed that, and then I watched it again too, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're just pointing out all the like.
That's amazing. Well, I'm so glad you guys noticed those little bits. You know.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. That the reason why. I mean, Sarah worked on it with me a lot too. So after the original script, but the whole idea was, especially when the girls say we're gonna have to do something we don't want to do, we have no choice. You think one thing, right? But they're saying we're gonna have to kill these guys. Okay, do something that may be painful. And that to me is the big. That's the big twist. That's the big. People are like, "What am I?" Because I sent the script, and even Sarah, when she first read it, she's going, "Where's this going?" A lot of people are like, "Where's this going?" Kind of creepy,
Yeah.
Where's it going? But I think that's, to me, that's what's fun about writing scripts is like to take people on a ride and misdirect. But it wouldn't have been as great if it wasn't for Sarah and Gareth. I mean, he's just amazing cinematographer, and all the actors, they just nailed it, I mean, everybody. Crystal was amazing, Ryan, Peter, Richard, everybody.
He wanted to call him Barry still. So his name is Barry.
Oh, his character name?
And Crystal kept laughing between takes because I don't know, he was kind of like a nerdy character, and you go, oh, Barry.
Yeah, me too. Like, we kept on laughing when he saw him because he looked so innocent, and we were like, wait.
He played it perfectly.
We were looking at his face, and we were like, oh my god. This was too nice.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, we talk about casting. The original characters weren't like Richard, who played kind of the nerdy guy, or Pete, who played the with the sweatsuit, because originally the guy in the sweatsuit was like a Russian kind of looking mobby guy, the way they beat a sweatsuit, he was a skinny guy with, and then Richard's character was an overweight businessman, kind of overweight and sweaty, but they did such good reads that we just formed, you have to adapt, but it worked out great. But
Yeah, where'd you find the location? The main room there? Crazy.
I don't know. Ask Sarah.
Yeah, this website called Peerspace that I've used numerous times. You could just rent spaces on there, and I was looking at it, and actually they filmed The Dark Knight in that location. So
I think I know what scene now too.
yeah, so I saw it, and actually I wanted to talk about that because when we initially read the script, me and Gareth went back and forth as to whether to go like the futuristic, like avant-garde direction, or to go the cliche, like dirty, grimy warehouse. Because I feel like there's so many, there's so many films like Savages where the girl gets kidnapped and then she's like chained to like a concrete wall or something. And I don't know, Gareth, do you want to talk about that? How like why we decided to go the futuristic route?
Yeah, I think we wanted. Well, one of our references was Beyond the Black Rainbow, and that movie is a little bit more high key. There's less shadow play, but there's a lot of saturation of colors. There's a lot of different density of imagery, so the contrast is quite high at times. But I think we wanted a space that also spoke to that futuristic element, and that was when we saw that on Peerspace. It was like something that kind of drew us towards that might actually help us with some of the production design elements. So it was kind of a logistical thing as well, but also in the creative, it allowed us to create a space that was otherworldly, that was a little bit more disorienting, and we could use canting of the camera, Dutch angles at a certain point.
Notice a lot of Dutch angles, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so we started playing with like this idea of, it was a Weaver Stedman head, but ideally it would have been a lambda, but kind of moving and shifting perspective as the film goes on. And that's also with the color design, which is something from Beyond the Black Rainbow as well.
Yeah.
But that space had all of those elements.
It had those lights above. Were those lights?
Yeah. So that was an entire LED array that was red, green, and blue. So you could change it to any color, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild. We chose specific colors. I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, it does. I think the colors are really cool. So it really helped out the film. Yeah. So it is a little dark. So how play your character Clementine, young girl, in this like dark world? How did you like playing that character?
I liked it because I like dramatic roles, and it was challenging because I've never went through it, so I had to like obviously act, but it was really fun to play that character, and I think it's important to bring awareness about it because it's something really important. But yeah,
I thought it was a really good job. Your acting was top notch.
Thank you so much.
I know. I deal with a lot of actors, a lot of young actors for teaching all this stuff, and in our festivals, we've been getting all these films with these young actors just killing it and getting nominated and winning awards. It's been pretty crazy. So, it's up there with a lot of people I've seen, a lot of young actors. So it's a good role. Did well.
Thank you.
And it looks like Sarah. Looks like it's getting a little darker around you there.
I know it's.
Going down.
I'm facing the window though, so yeah. But I guess you'd call this magic hour.
So, anyone else? I know you guys said you're working pre-production. The actors, were you planning on doing anything coming up, and then it got all this stuff happened, or do you have anything else coming up soon?
Yeah, I was gonna do this like shoot for like a dance competition thing for a new streaming network. Yeah, platform for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that was postponed, and I don't know when they're gonna shoot it, but yeah, that was one thing postponed, and then a callback for a show. But
they gotta wait on that.
I know I have to wait on that.
The Brat to be some content for them. But...
Yeah, for me, we have the project coming up, Michael Paul's project. So we have this time, which is a gift to prepare and do pre-production and work on the script and prepare for the role. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Were you working on anything and then it just came to a halt? Any of you? Like you were working on any projects and then you just had to stop? You worked?
No.
Yeah.
Just, the audition.
Yeah.
Halted.
I had a few things lined up. I had just come off of some commercials in Ohio for a hospital chain, and then I was moving into continuing to shoot an MTV show that I shoot. and we actually started pushing the dates, and then they just completely canceled it, even though we were completely booked, hotels, everything. And then a few other shoots actually fell apart along those lines, unfortunately.
Yeah. Is there any out there? Have you heard anything of it like coming? I haven't heard anything lately. Have you heard anything of it, like when they're opening things up or for filming?
I actually just recently talked to, I think it was yesterday, one of our producers from Recon Productions. So we always team up with Recon, my production company, with them to do films, and they're also going to be on board this next project, which is called Midnight at the Rose Motel. And I was just like talking to her about it. I'm like, so we're thinking of shooting in September. Obviously, it's like up in the air. And she was like, well, I don't want to like burst your bubble. She's like, it could happen, but she's like, honestly, it's going to make your budget go up, because now with the CDC rules, like you have to get protective gear for all your people on set. Like you have to make sure like a cleaning crew goes in beforehand, afterwards. Like apparently like all these rules are making the budget increase. But I'm just being optimistic and hoping that maybe we can, get everything under control when it comes to COVID, and like maybe this, I don't know, I'll go away.
Yeah. It's only October, November, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know how, like, I know I deal with a lot of background actors a lot, and I don't know if they're going to be doing that. They're going to be a lot of like small films with like less actors now for a while, I think, right?
Well, the thing that she was saying was interesting, because I thought same thing. I thought, oh, the indie cinema is going to flourish because we're smaller. We don't have like famous actors. We have to worry about their safety as much. But she actually said, no, it's like the bigger productions that are safer because they have the money to spend on all these CDC precautions. And it's like the smaller productions which can't afford it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what else was I going to talk about? Well, here's some people in the background. Since I work at a lot of film festivals, I run 3 festivals around this area. Have you guys got to experience to go to some film festivals with this film, or did that come to a halt too, and it's all like internet-based film festivals now? Or did you have the chance to go and do like the red carpet and go to film festivals with it?
No, I wish.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We released it at Valentine's Day, so like shortly after all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
We did get into, I mean, some of these festivals are like online anyway, like the monthly things. So we did win 2 awards from one festival, which is awesome. And we got into a Berlin film festival, which we may still be able to go to. I'm just not sure what month they're doing it. No. But I have gotten emails from a few festivals just giving us the heads up, like, oh, it's getting pushed. Everything's getting pushed. So, yeah.
Yeah, we weren't sure. Like, we had to cancel one, and we'll push it till September. We have one in August, so that's the one that we're hoping that we get to do it in August, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We have room in that one to push it as well. But as of right now, on the East Coast, like every festival is like the middle of September right now.
Wow.
Probably about like 20 festivals on the same weekend we are having it. So
that's crazy. Oh my God. I really hope we get into, there's this one festival called Holly Shorts that my last film got into, and they have it at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. That it's usually in August, and I'm really hoping we get into that because that is a Oscar qualifying film fest, so it's kind of a big deal. But yeah, hopefully
that's a good one. That's a big one there.
Yeah.
But so I've been a lot. It's cool. So we'll probably have it in our festival here, and we'll find out in a month. But probably have it in the festival. And it's right in Jersey City, which is right next to New York City. It's like it's really close. So we got a lot of people that come from New York to go to that one as well. We do that twice a year, so it's a lot of fun. It's a smaller based festival in this tavern, but there's like 2 floors, and everyone has a blast for like 3 days. So
that's awesome.
Cool. We'll see how that goes.
How long have your film fest been going on? Like how many years?
About 7 years now.
Okay.
7 years.
What do you normally look for when you choose a film?
Well, since we're short films, so we get to concentrate on that. But we have hang on to your shorts. We have 25 different categories. So
wow.
yeah, so it's spread out. We usually get we had about 500 submissions. We took 180 films, and we do it in 2 days. So it's in like 3 different theaters, and we just play them nonstop.
Yeah.
But we do everything from student films to horror to drama. So it's all over the place.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It's almost like one of those like online festivals where I have like a million different types of genres and awards, but we just kind of do it live.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
But it's funny because we get a lot of horror, a lot of thrillers. So that's kind of like a lot of those types of people like to submit to our festival. I mean, there's tons of like horror fest on the shore here. For some reason, I don't know why, but there's a lot of like thriller and horrors.
Well, that's what I was so excited about with Just Be, because I'd never made a horror film, and now I'm like, yes, now I can finally submit to all those horror film festivals that I never was able to participate in, you know, because like the horror community is huge.
It's
like,
huge.
People that love horror are just like diehard horror fans. So, and I feel like this film is like not your average horror film. It's a little like, I don't know, avant-garde and just unique, so.
But it would fit in that genre as well, like thriller / horror. But it's I got into the horror world myself, and I love it. I can't I go to all these horror fests, and I know all these horror people. So
that's so cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And shooting horror films is nice and cheap, so I produced quite a bit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's another thing why people love it is like it's usually cheaper budget. So.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog is now making noises.
We had fireworks going off over here. I don't know how that's going.
Oh, weird. I wonder, is it because it's Memorial Day?
Memorial Day, yeah.
Like weekend? Yeah, not.
And it's like pouring rain out, so it makes no sense.
Oh, weird.
Very strange. Very strange.
What else is new in New Jersey? Rain. So
it's raining all the time now. I can't wait for the good weather. You know, they opened up the beaches this weekend, so and they didn't open up New York, so we were all worried that everyone's going to come down here, and now it's raining every day, so it doesn't matter.
Perfect.
But yeah, we usually in late April, early May, we have this festival in Asbury Park, New Jersey. You know, Bruce Springsteen, that's, you know, he plays there all the time, Bruce Springsteen in Asbury Park, and it's beautiful. Right on the beach, we have the festival. So, oh well, we're gonna do it in September, hopefully. But
yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, how's it out in the West Coast right now? The weather good?
We got good weather. Yeah.
Are a lot of people going out, or now they're staying in?
I mean, I'm the weirdo that stays in all the time just because I'm afraid and paranoid. But I do think a lot of my friends are going to the beach. I heard the beaches are like packed.
Oh.
But you're not supposed to like sit down and just chill. You're supposed to constantly be moving. Like you can run on the beach, you can surf on the beach, but you can't just like hang out on the beach. So it's kind of weird.
They let you too. They let you. We went to the beach last weekend and
yeah, we were like sitting for like, I don't know.
Yeah.
3 hours.
We were not really moving.
Oh, okay. Oh, and they didn't like yell at you?
Yeah, no, there were like a whole bunch of people just like sitting down on the beach. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to have people not sit, just walking around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Night of the Living Dead. I mean, you know.
That's really funny.
I see it's starting to open up around here. There's a lot of traffic outside now. A lot of people starting to go back to work, so it's starting.
I noticed here too. There's a little more traffic now than there was. More. People are starting to, you know, get tired and want to get out. So.
Oh yeah.
And I'm still teaching online every day, all day. How about you, Clementine? Are you done with school or?
I'm not. I'm ending in like 3 weeks, I think. But
Okay.
yeah,
3 weeks? I
yeah,
thought it
3
was
weeks.
June 10.
Oh, wait. 2 weeks then. Wait, what? Okay, 2 weeks, I guess. I'm almost in high school. But yeah, I have homework 5 days a week. So I still have like homework for like, I don't know, 3 hours a day.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, we were supposed to, like, the teachers, we were given too much work. They had to stop us. We didn't know what to do. We're just like throwing all this work, and they're like, you gotta calm down. The kids are going crazy. So
yeah, exactly. They're giving us so much homework, like more than when we're actually in school. Or maybe it's because I don't have a schedule, but like I'm so overwhelmed with like homework. But it's almost over, so.
Yeah, it's almost. And I can't teach my classes online. It's hard. I can do it, but it's hard because we usually walk around with the cameras and film. But we're trying our best to do what we can do. So, but all the kids are like, "You're giving us too much work. Stop!" Because we have to do like math.
What kind of class is it?
TV production, film production. So I teach six classes of film, 9 through 12. So it's a new program that I've been doing it for 3 years. We have this big arts program now, so that's kind of where the high schools are going around here. They're moving towards the arts, which is good.
Nice.
Keeps me having a job. So I love it. I don't want to go back. I've taught before. I taught history when I was younger, but now I teach film, and it's the best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
I don't get to work on many films anymore, but I don't care. But,
well, you get to talk to filmmakers all the time. So
all the time, and yeah. So we do this, and it's a lot of fun doing the festivals. But the good thing is, I get my students into film festivals, and I know all the film festivals around here. So they let you like submit for free all the student films and all that. So I go, and people see me at film festivals now. They're like, "Oh, you got to film him?" I'm like, no, my students, not me anymore. You know, so
yeah.
Well, I wish I had a film class in high school like that back in the day.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you wanted us to talk about this.
Yes.
Our next project.
The next project.
Michael, yeah. First off, let me just say that I love making movie posters.
I know. It's unbelievable.
My favorite pastime is making movie posters.
Yeah.
They're so nice.
Just give her a title. She'll make the movie
poster. Give me a title and I'll make it look like $1 million.
Exactly.
I was thinking Michael could maybe talk about our next project a little bit in case you guys want to hear about it.
Absolutely.
So, as the title states, it takes place in a motel with 2 guys and 2 girls. And the 2 guys ripped off a very powerful someone in organized crime, and they have to leave town really quickly. And they have their girlfriends there. One girlfriend's already there. The other girlfriend comes, and he tells her, "Look, I'm gonna have to skip town, but you have to too, because they're gonna be after you to get to me. So, you know, you have." And she's like, "Why can't we leave together?" And they don't. They have a big argument, and the 2 couples are fighting, and it's a lot of hijinks that ensue. I'm not going to give it away because I want it to be the fun twist again. Nobody spits up anything and kills anybody in this, but it's still, you know, I think it's a fun script. It's a total departure from. It's not a horror at all. It's kind of. How would you say, Sarah? Like, what is it kind of?
I would say it's like. It could be considered a film noir, or definitely a thriller. Yeah, it's a crime drama. Yeah.
Crime, with a lot of dysfunctional people.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of yelling and crying.
Did you guys find a location yet? Like any motel?
I've actually been looking. Now that we have some downtime, I have like a Google Doc that has a bunch of places that allow shooting at motels and the prices and. Yeah, so I'm doing all my like homework now because we've got time to spare.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I wrote this script 10 years ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then I wrote a feature based on it, and so anyway, it's and also back then I looked at motels around the LA area.
Okay.
But I don't know where, but yeah, and I think this will be. It's just going to be, we have to pick the right kind of look for the motel, but it's not going to be like Just Be with that big room and the lights. It's going to be totally, like film
noir, like realistic.
Yeah.
So
we wouldn't have time, but she's 30 years too young. So
I know. You're going to have to write a new film.
I'm going to have to write in. I am writing something else that she might be in right now.
Yay!
Yeah. Since this quarantine's been great for me, I'm working feature and 2 shorts.
During this?
Wow.
Sorry, my dog.
Are you? Do you prefer writing or what about other things on set?
No, I like writing the best.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about directing, but now I have Sarah, so I don't. But I started as an actor in New York. Years ago, many years ago.
Theater?
No, not theater, like TV and things like that, barely. And then I came to LA and did that. But then I just fell in love with writing and story ideas. And that's primarily what I want to do. And if it's my project, I'll put myself in, like this one. I didn't want to be in Just Be because I knew I'd be interacting with the actors and I didn't want to be the creepy guy,
Mm-hmm.
I play the kidnapper, but nobody sees me. I have a mask on. But in this one, I wrote this specifically for me. I wrote that other character of Jennifer specifically for Persephone. And then we have to cast 2 other actors that are with us. But yeah, I enjoy writing because, you know, I feel like I never liked auditioning. I know you kind of mentioned that before or something, but I never liked auditioning. I like to be in control. Yeah. I mean, some people are really good at it. Persephone's amazing at auditioning. I always wanted to be in control of what I'm doing, you know? So if I can write, then I could write forever till I'm 90, you know? So,
Absolutely.
and I don't have to be in everything. So that's the beautiful part of it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I feel the same way. I feel like every time I went on an audition, I would stink. So
yeah.
I don't like
I
it.
don't know how actors do it. I mean, my self-esteem would just go like, because you guys are literally like being rejected all the time, and you have to bounce back from that, you know?
It's a great skill, though, to audition well. It's a skill, you know, because you can really, like some people, like I could put Chris in the movie without auditioning him and he'd probably nail it. But if he has to audition, sometimes it just doesn't, it's so unnatural, you know, the flow is off. But people, you have to be good at it. But now with the self-taping that they're going to do, man, you could just send them your best take, you know? So
yeah,
at least that. So I think that's an advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, when you audition, you never know what to expect. So there's always a surprise. And for me, the nerves never go away.
No.
But yeah, I agree. The cool thing about the self-tape is that there's more power for the actor. You see what the casting director sees, and you can do multiple takes until you're happy.
Yeah.
So that gives a lot more freedom for the actor. So, and hopefully at some point, if you get a call back, you can interact with the director and the writers and so forth. That would be ideal.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like self-taping is like a little easier because it's not like in the audition room where you can only do it once.
Yeah.
Like they see you, like you get to pick like which one you think is the best.
Yeah.
It's like
how many times we leave the audition room and think, oh God, I wish I had done it this way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the mantra. Everybody says that when they leave.
Right.
Let me do it one more time. The people that say I nail it, I don't know. They're not. They don't last.
No.
You think you nailed it, you don't get it. You think you did terribly, and you got it. So it's
exactly.
Right.
What about the actresses here? Have you done theater? Do you like theater and film, or have you done both?
Yeah, actually, last year at my school, I did musical theater. I did Wizard of Oz, and I was Dorothy. But that's honestly all I did. Like in elementary school, I did Alice in Wonderland, but that wasn't really serious.
Well, you've done some improv.
Oh yeah, I've done improv.
So
yeah, I've
with
done
a
improv.
live audience.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, my background is in theater actually. I trained back in New York and at NYU, and so did some stage work at the Atlantic Theater and some off Broadway and those little tiny theaters. So that's pretty much where I got my start. And then film and television, especially when I moved to Los Angeles, was my focus, which I love because there's something so wonderfully intimate about the camera and film, and something so natural. It's a different artistry entirely. So it's I love both.
I've seen a lot of people that are really good on film have all kind of really started out in theater and been there and done that, and then they move on to film, and then it's kind of where they stay. But I've seen that quite a lot, especially being from this area. A lot of
especially New York area, definitely. Yeah, it's a great background, and you have to kind of tone things down. You know, some things are different on stage. Your vocals, the way you express, it's a little physically bigger. But with the film, there's this magic that happens, an economy of movement. You can see your thoughts. You know, you can see the actor's thoughts, the character's thoughts, and I think that's what's so amazing about filmmaking. And
it's more like the subtleties, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The subtleties, the nuances. Yeah, I mean, when you're in a motel in a film, you're in a motel. On stage, you're creating that life differently, in your imagination differently, more specifically.
Do you think though, like the actor has more control in theater versus film?
In some ways, yes, because in theater it's linear. You know, you're not shooting out of the end of the movie on day one.
Yeah.
And so there's this wonderful life you live each night. You perform on stage from beginning to end. You're taking that journey. There's something that's that feels very like you're on that ride. You know, it's in some way that's a kind of control.
And you can't yell cut. So.
Exactly.
No, it's just gotta go with it.
The director's not telling you cut. You're kind of, and that's the scary thing. You're on your own. If you make a mistake, you've gotta go with it. You know. And the other actors on stage with you, if they're flub a line or pick up the wrong prop at the wrong moment, you gotta just live that moment. And go with it. And that's kind of fun too, because those are sometimes the best moments, right? Where you have those surprises and so.
Gareth, did you ever shoot a film in linear? Did you ever shoot?
Sorry, so
like story order. Have you ever shot?
Linear. Oh yeah. White Wolves, actually, I think, Sarah, we kind of shot in a somewhat linear. It just made our days, I think, a little bit easier to track because of some of the surf elements. The surf photography was out of order, but
pretty much.
But
did we do just
mostly no. You're never really afforded that opportunity, I think, in most cases, because schedules. It's to do with actors,
different sets and things like that.
But production elements, all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately.
Yeah.
How long did it take to shoot Just Be? How many days was that?
2 days.
2 days.
That's pretty good. I met with Sarah the first time in August, right? August in 20-something, right?
Yeah.
And we shot in October and it was done in February. So we did it pretty fast.
Yeah, it was by far the fastest turnaround I've ever had in a film.
Yeah.
Like, White Wolves took 2 years to make for me. So that was like a very long process. But
I don't have patience, that's why.
And I think actually our original timetable was even shorter. Like, I think, didn't you want it out by January or something?
I think I said, let's get it out as fast as possible, but February was good. It was perfect.
Yeah.
We didn't want, with the editing and the color correction, we didn't want to rush that and mess it up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good length too. For a short film, it's a good length. Doing this for so long, and I get these 35-minute, 40-minute short films, and we're like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Make a feature if you're going to do that.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like over 20 or a little bit over 20, that's the limit to me in my head,
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're right. Unless it's something so amazing, and if you wrote a feature that's 3 hours, okay, maybe, But, yeah. I don't think Gareth can hear us, right? Or Persephone?
Yeah, Gareth, can you hear?
Can you hear me? I don't think
No, unfortunately.
So you can hear everyone but Persephone and Michael.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Can you hear us? Yeah.
Well,
I can hear. Yeah, I can.
You're doing a good job of listening to that.
And Sarah. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm going off facial
He's
reactions.
just like,
It's mostly pantomiming, so I'm like, absolutely.
Ming was suggesting that you leave and come back, and then it should work for you, Gareth.
Oh, it might work.
I put it in the.
Yeah, if you leave and come back, it might work. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't even see that chat because of the internet connection. All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Continue the show.
Yeah, that might work. That happened before.
I got you. I'll try it.
StreamYard's pretty good, but sometimes it gets, that happens sometimes, especially with a lot of people. But but it's been pretty good for us, StreamYard. It's a pretty cool thing, and anyone can use it. It's free, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool. I like it.
We'll have to do this, do our production meetings.
I know. Yeah, this is awesome.
So you can have up to 6 people, and then
cool.
so 6 people on the screen, and then so that's why Ming's behind. But then I've done shows where we've rotated people out and in.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, cool. I like it.
But,
have you guys heard all this stuff about Zoom? Like, hackers have been getting into Zoom calls and like.
Really?
I heard that. Yeah.
And what do they do?
Like during meetings, they'll say inappropriate things. And
really inappropriate things.
That's
like
awesome.
crazy stuff.
I mean, no, that's
awesome.
But it must be funny when that happened, I would think.
Well, it'll be like Microsoft are doing like an amazing, like important.
There he is.
And then they'll do some graphic thing.
Present.
Gareth, can you hear everyone?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, you, Michael.
Oh my God, we should have
Yeah.
told you like
Michael.
30 minutes ago. I thought you could see the chat maybe, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the chat doesn't.
Yeah, we have our private chat and then the live chat there as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
it's
live
not
comments?
loading,
Jared
unfortunately, but I
spent all
can't
his
hear
money
Michael now.
on camera.
wow, there are live comments.
Yeah, I just don't. I
Oh,
don't
wait,
get.
where-
Is there
Oh,
many?
there-
I don't even know.
Oh, comments. Okay.
Yeah. So Ming puts a bunch of them. And Ming's in charge. He can take. I don't even look at that till later. He
Oh,
doesn't.
cool. He put our next project on there and our
Yes.
on our Instagrams.
What are you looking
Yeah.
at?
Oh,
Mhm.
except I think.
Oh, yay.
Oh yeah. Clementine.
What? I'm excited.
Yeah. So at the end, we'll promote the stuff too. So we'll go around and you promote everything that you want to promote, and we'll.
The mic is almost as big as your head, Clem. It's like the biggest.
So big.
No,
That's a
I
nice
saw her hat. I thought that was pretty cool, but
It looks very vintage.
she can sing. She's gonna sing a song.
No.
Yeah, sing a song.
Happy birthday to
Okay, we wanted to be fancy for the first podcast.
Fancy.
Sometimes I have some of my students get on here and do it as well. So I have been looking for we have been looking for like young stars to for my students to interview. So if you ever wanted to do a one-on-one with my students, Clementine,
Oh, sure.
they come on here. I have a couple of them on my website there that they did. So they're like
Really?
Yeah.
they're always trying to they're saying get us someone famous. I'm like, all right.
Clementine's so famous.
He is very famous.
Not really.
Well, the kids would know, right?
Funny, yeah. Some people tell her that, oh, you're so famous, or
I'm
like
like,
you're
I'm
famous. But I'm
normal.
like, what does that mean to be famous? Like,
It doesn't
what?
mean anything, but just
It
say
means
thank
nothing.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays, if you have a following on social, it puts you in a category of being famous.
Yeah.
But
It's really weird.
I mean, I want her to be famous for projects like this, not because
Yeah,
she
exactly.
gets likes on
Is
Instagram.
that more of a new thing where like there's a lot of actors and actresses coming from like YouTube or from social media and getting casted and stuff, or is that it seems to be happening more and more? No, am I wrong?
Probably not really in my world, but I think in
Yeah.
general, yeah. Like I'm sure if casting agents look at the actors following and if it's like huge, they probably are more likely to cast them. You know.
Yeah, I've heard both. I would. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I've heard like maybe for smaller directors, it could play a role. But I mean,
Because it could help them, but like I feel if it's like bigger, like Disney Channel, like they don't care about that.
Right.
yeah, and also they're aware now that a lot of
People have, like,
there are a
fake
lot of
followers.
fake
Doing
influencers
it.
by followers, by engagement. So they're very careful about.
Yeah, they don't like trust any like one.
Yes,
anything.
Yeah.
But I've noticed some production like Brat TV that will hire influencers that are non-actors to play in their shows so that they know it's going to be promoted and viewed because they have a fan base. So I don't know if that's, I mean, I don't necessarily believe in that. I'd rather push
Yeah,
her.
do it legitimately, because I would not cast somebody just because they have 1 million followers if they can't. I mean, it's
Yeah,
agree.
exactly.
ruin your project, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I know that like that's a different world to me, but it's I'm starting to get into it because I teach all these young kids. They're always telling me, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was curious how you stumbled upon just.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I have my students look at films all the time, and they're like, "Yo, check this film out." So they always do that to me. They're like, check this film we found online or something like that.
That's so cool.
So, like students do that to me all the time, and they'll send me emails. And go, I'll send them. I'll be like, no, check this film out. And they're like, no, check this film out. So I saw the film, and then that's why I was like, oh, and I do that a lot too. Like people will always show me films, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool one. I'll get that.
Mhm.
But
That's
and
cool.
you never know. You stumble up, and you never know who you stumble upon and meet. I go to these film festivals. I met these guys. They're amazing filmmakers, and I saw a feature film that they did at a festival. I loved it. Went up to them, or hanging out with them all night. And then I went to see their film at another festival, and we're talking. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I based it off my short that won the Oscar." And I was like, "Wait, I've known these guys for a while now, and I didn't know that their short film won an Oscar." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I had them on the show the other night, and I'm good friends with them all now, and everything they make just is amazing. everything that they come out with. So I'm like, when are you gonna hire me?
Yeah.
But in 2013, they won this Oscar for the movie Curfew. It's online. You can check it out. It's
Check it out. Yeah.
and there's a young actress star in that, and she's unbelievable too.
Oh wow.
But so you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
And
there's so many talented filmmakers out there now. Now that like it's so much easier to make films, you know, like cameras are cheaper, like we just have more access. So
yeah, Michael, like we were saying before, like when we were younger, you couldn't do this, right?
No way. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe shoot with a VHS big camcorder.
Big camcorder.
I have one.
It wasn't
You?
a big thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Ramadan, you know what that is? A VHS tape. but
Oh, well, maybe you do.
No, I don't. Wait, what?
Yeah, we don't actually. Yeah.
You know what? VHS tapes are coming back because
They
I was
are?
on Outfitters and they have VHS tapes that you can buy. Like,
Really?
they
like
have
vinyl?
a romantic comedy pack and like a horror pack, so you can get like 5 VHS tapes of like Halloween, Friday the 13th. Like,
But a VCR costs like $2,000 on eBay now.
I still have I have a VCR. I have a TV with a VCR
oh,
built
I have
in.
it too.
It's
I have
in
it
my
too.
closet.
And it's
Because I'm
still
like, you know, one day I'm gonna need that thing for something.
Yeah. We should put Just Be on a VHS tape.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, it's so much more expensive. Then it was, and it's shooting even now film, but now with digital, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not exactly, you know, it's not super cheap still.
No.
Yeah.
No, but you can like we have
doable.
Canons. I have like Canons that my students film on, and they can make a film look pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we just had a VHS player, and
Yeah.
it's like whatever, not so good. I used to own a video store right out of college, so
Oh, cool.
we went from VHS to DVDs, and I had it for 4 years, and then we went out of business. So
Yeah.
Oh wow. I worked at a video store. That's
did?
where I filmed student E.
Blockbuster Video.
No, it was I don't remember the name. It was an independent chain and it had a porn room where they would rent out like X-rated, and I would hate going in there to
You were in the porn room?
I would hate putting back the things because at the end of the night you'd have to like put everything back on the shelves.
Oh my God.
And I hated going in that porn room because like all the covers were just disgusting and yeah. But I got fired. But do you know why I got fired? Because I was erasing everyone's late fees.
Oh no!
I was like the Robin Hood of like my friends would come in and then they try to rent something. I'm like, I'm sorry, you have like a $50 late fee, and they're like, oh really? I really wanted to rent this. I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, okay, like erased your late fee. And then all of a sudden I came in one week and I wasn't on the schedule, and I was like, I think I got fired.
Oh, good.
So yeah.
Oh wow. Well, in our world here, like back in the day, what kind of started the independent film thing was Clerks. So we're from the area where Clerks was filmed, and that was $28,000 film there to make that.
Wow.
And you know they did black and white because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
But you know that's huge from our area. So and that kind of started that independent film thing. And
So that feature film cost less money than our 7-minute short film.
8.5.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good movie, though, Clerks.
Yeah.
I should have shot it in Jersey, my home state. It would have been cheaper. You see?
Yeah.
Well, now they got the for a while. New Jersey lost a lot of the big television shows and films because the taxes went up for the films, but now the governor now lowered it, so people are coming back here. So it's a lot cheaper to make a film in New Jersey now. So I think Kevin Smith was actually going to make Clerks 3 back here at home, back where the original one started, but because now he can, and now he can't though. It was gonna happen soon, and now.
I heard a podcast recently with him, and he was saying how what was his last film? Was it like a Jay and Silent Bob like straight
Reboot.
So he
Ming's in it. Ming, who's behind the scenes here, he's in the movie.
Oh wow, I haven't seen it
Nice.
yet. But so he was saying that right before he was getting ready for that movie, he had like a heart attack or something.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And then that's how he roped everyone into that film. He's like, this could be my last film. I had a heart attack. And he was like using it as like a guilt trip. And people were like, okay, all right, I'll be in your movie.
Yeah, you got Ben Affleck to come back and all that. You know,
oh, nice. Did he also get somebody big like Liam Hemsworth or something? What is that?
Thor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's Chris Hemsworth, right? Chris Hemsworth, Thor. Yeah, Thor was in it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I always get the brothers mixed up, but that's cool.
Yeah, so he was in that too. Yeah, it's a very funny movie, but if you haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, you got to watch that first.
Yeah. No, I think actually I saw that, but I haven't seen the new one. Yeah.
Clementine, they were rated R movies. I don't know if you're old enough to see them. They're pretty R-rated.
Okay, I will make sure to watch them then.
A lot of cursing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't curse.
I'm just kidding.
No, I do curse.
She's a professional. I mean, there was cursing in Just Be, and she handled it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the comments on our YouTube page was like, why did they have to curse? Or why are they swearing so much?
Like, actually, didn't you explain us, Sarah, that it was to fall into that certain category?
Yeah, actually, one of our actors, Ryan, was the one that told us that apparently you can still have not an R rating with a lot of swear words. Like
you can say the F word once, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wait, so if you say the F word once, you get an R rating?
PG-13.
Okay.
PG-13, you're allowed to say the F word once.
Said the F word more than once.
We said it 3 times.
Okay.
A billion times, you guys.
I like how you know this, Michael.
And you know what's funny? It wasn't in the original script, Sarah. I don't know what happened. These actors took
I rated it.
Made it already. I had no cursing, I want you to know.
Yeah.
But it's a dark film anyway, so you kind of have to have that R too anyway, right?
It worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Made it more intense. Ryan especially was really good at being creepy. You know?
Yeah, so Ryan actually, have you ever seen The Neon Demon, Chris? Okay, well, there's like this really creepy photographer in The Neon Demon, and I remember me and Ryan, during one of our rehearsals, he was like, yeah, I'm using that guy as inspiration, and I was like, that is so weird, because he was the inspiration when I was thinking of casting him. So it's so weird that we were both in line with the kind of like the inspiration for that character. But.
Well, anyway, you know, we're coming close to an end here, so I wanted you guys to go around and promote whatever and talk about, so you can promote. We'll put it up there. Any websites you have, or any upcoming projects, or any old projects that you want people to see. So if we want to go around the bend here, we'll do that. So Clementine, if you want to start, if you have anything you want to promote for anybody out there.
Promote your TikTok.
You can follow my TikTok.
You promote whatever, yeah.
I don't know. Teenagers do a lot of TikTok. Well, yeah, my TikTok's Clementine Spicer. So yeah, my name, and then my Instagram is Clementine Leia,
and then your YouTube.
And then my YouTube is Clementine Leia Spicer.
My students made Ming. Ming came. We went to visit Ming in the studio where my classes, and they made him TikTok. So
TikTok is super popular. Like I love doing the dances and everything. It's so fun.
She's teaching me.
Oh, and I also on TikTok, like there's something called point of views, like POVs, and it's like acting. So it's like point of view. You're getting kidnapped, and it's just like acting. So it's really fun. I do a lot of those.
60 seconds only, right?
It's either 15 or 60 seconds. It depends. But
yeah, so it's like short skits and
it's like short scenes. They're really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
over at your house, we were trying to do the Mean Girls scene. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember.
that was awesome.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Sarah is an upcoming star.
Upcoming star, yes.
You should follow her too.
Electric Nursing or whatever.
Electric Nursing is my TikTok. Yeah.
Very random username, you guys. She's a nurse. She's everything. She's an actor. She's a director. She's a writer.
Yeah, DJ.
Nurse, DJ.
You got to do it all, right?
All the D words: director, designer,
poster
DJ.
maker. Don't forget poster maker. Yeah.
Poster maker. That's a designer.
Good job. That's a big thing. Yeah, it sells the film.
Oh, really? Totally. Yeah.
So, Sarah, do you have anything?
Yeah. People can subscribe to the West YouTube page. I don't know if what the URL is, but you can just search Louest Studio, or you can go to our website, louest.la. So it's LOUEST.LA. You can watch all films that we've made, White Wolves, Just Be, a bunch of other projects, Treading Water. There's just like a lot of films and music videos. So.
Gareth, what about you? Do you have anything to promote there? Any upcoming projects or past projects? Or
yeah. I don't know if the audience is interested, but on MTV, there's a show called Siesta Key that I shoot and direct on. There's a feature-length documentary about making pasta called Funky on Hulu, Amazon Prime, and iTunes, if you want to check that out. And there's going to be another documentary called Our Mother, the Mountain, that's premiering at the Sheffield Film Festival, documentary festival, whenever that might be and how it's going to be, unfortunately, but probably all online streaming. So those would be the three for right now.
And people will tune in and watch it because there's not much to do right now. So I've been catching up on a lot of TV. So
yeah, fingers crossed. Absolutely.
Definitely. So we'll post all that for you, and
cool.
That'll be cool. And we'll put it up. So what about you?
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I have a film that's in production that we shot some time ago, and I think hopefully after this period of COVID, it will soon be released. It's titled Son of Perdition. So check out my Instagram page for any updates on that. And of course, Michael Paul's next project, Midnight at the Rose Hotel. We're in pre-production phase now, and look forward to working on that. We'll be shot in LA. And
maybe or Jersey.
What's that?
Come to Jersey.
Or maybe we'll shoot in New Jersey.
And what about you, Michael? You have anything that from the past?
I think they kind of said it all with Louest and Midnight at the Rose Motel. Just watch Just Be, and my Instagram is This Is Michael Paul with 2 L's. And just hopefully we'll see you at the film festivals.
Yeah, absolutely. So they could watch it, and just it's okay to promote. Go see Just Be, go watch it, right? It's there to watch, and yeah. So anyone that was tuning in that heard all this and probably want to go check it out. I hope we didn't give too much away while we were talking, right?
I don't think we did.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we gave any spoilers away, really. Hopefully.
Well, maybe, but it's still exciting.
Well, I want to thank everyone for coming on, and check everything out. And we will be on YouTube as well as SoundCloud. And right now we are. You can replay us here on Cullen on Films, and you can share this on all your pages if you like, as well as a shared universe. So we're on both of those pages on Facebook right now. So thanks a lot. We're going to go off now, but you can stay on for a minute or two. Say goodbye after we go off the air. But thanks for coming on, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.